What's up, YouTube? Got a yo-yo review to do today. This is one of the new yo-yos to come across my desk here in 2018. This is the SF Yoyos Bliss. Now, the SF Yoyos Bliss is the signature yo-yo of Mr. Paul Harness. Paul is the at Yoyoist is Paul Harness on Instagram. Links for SF and Paul Harness and all that stuff down in the description of the video. Please go and check those out. So this is, I believe, SF's first signature yo-yo. Paul Harness is an awesome player and quite a cool dude as well. Posts a lot of content, competes in a lot of contests. I believe he is the current and like 6-time Idaho State champion, as well as like a frequent competitor and high placer in lots and lots of other competitions as well. So he is awesome. You're gonna want to check his Instagram out because he rocks. And this is his brand new signature yo-yo. This is kind of a departure for SF, actually. They sort of usually do most of the bimetals, and all of the bimetals up until this that they've done have had the ring clamped in here like this. This is the SF Yoyos SS, and as well as the BFF also sort of had the ring clamped in like that. It was a compilation with them and Corco. But so as you can see, large departure from what they're doing. So the Bliss has a slightly smaller diameter than the SS, and it's definitely wider, a lot wider. The SS was kind of a well, it's a little bit narrow. It's on the narrow side. I would say this is on the standard, maybe a little bit wide side of yo-yos. And here it is, just for size comparison, next to a shutter. Smaller diameter, but wider by a little bit than the shutter. Specs and everything are going to be on the screen. So I'll put the specs up on the screen here. But nice and light, super powerful. As you can see, they just kind of clamp these steel rings onto the edge there. Put a nice wide yo-yo. Oh, and this is also made of 7068 aluminum and stainless steel. So kind of a weird conglomeration of metals. But it makes for a very unique playing yo-yo, and I really like it a lot. So it seems to me like a lot of companies try to push out their competition models in the beginning of the year for all of their players to use at competitions throughout the year. And since we've got competition season kicking off, just had Virginia State's like 2 weeks ago, almost. It's time for competition yo-yos, and this one is no exception. This is quite the competitor. But that's enough of me talking about it. Let's go throw it around a little bit. I'll show you guys what it can do. Alright guys, we are back with the SF Yoyos Bliss. So, first thing you're going to notice about this thing is power. This is easily the most powerful SF yo-yo that I've played, although I have not played the BFF. And the width is very nice, especially when you're like messing up and trying to talk. The width is very nice and makes hitting tricks very easy. This is, although it's a signature throw, it's just a great all-around competition yo-yo, and I could see this being used a lot in competition this year because it is really, really good. SF usually comes in with the solid price points. These are only $100, but in my opinion, this totally stacks up to and is a lot better than a lot of the like yo-yo recreation stuff. So for $100, you're getting a ton of yo-yo. Super awesome. This is a special edition. This one is coming soon. As you can see, the rings are like kind of like got that rainbow effect to them. Very, very cool. The grind finish, as on most SF yo-yos, and all SF yo-yos, is exquisite. 7068 lends itself to very nice, smooth grind finishes, like almost like powdery, chalkboardy. Very, very nice. You know, SF does a good job generally overall with their yo-yos, and this is really no exception. Great grind finish there in the center. The rings are not blasted, so if you get your fingers stuck on them, it's going to hit your spin time a little bit. So the rings are kind of shiny, as you can see. They're shining in the video there. But I haven't had a problem with it. They seem to stay out of the way. The diameter is small enough of the yo-yo that it's not kind of bulky and in the way. And the grind finish on the center blasted part's been really, really good. Dead smooth. I'm dead smooth on grinds. It's like you can't even feel it. Really, really, really nice. All SF yo-yos I've ever played have been like 100%, 10 out of 10, dead smooth. Never get any smoother. You can't get any smoother than this. And this one's no exception. There is absolutely no vibe whatsoever. Fingernail test, nada, nothing. Not even sure it's spinning that good. As far as finger spins are concerned, this is clearly not designed for finger spins, but it's got a nice, just kind of flat cup there. Not hard to hit them. Pretty easy. And then let's do them on the let's do them on camera this time. Nice, easy. My bind didn't stick, but it's okay. Easy to hit the finger spins. Just easy to play. Fun to play too. Like for a lot of competition yo-yos, you kind of just expect them to be very competition-y, but this still sort of has that SF vibe to it, which is basically like, oh, this is still a fun yo-yo. I like it a lot, basically. You get a lot of rim weight. Still a good bit of center weight there with the flat cap in the center. So it's got a little bit of floatiness to it, a little bit of control. Super stable, super long spinning. And just, I mean, overall, better, in my opinion, than a lot of competition yo-yos. And you would not be putting yourself at a disadvantage at all using this in a competition. And you're definitely going to want to try to pick one up. These are the next drop from SF. They're going to be dropping randomly. You know how SF does it. For the next till they're gone. And definitely a solid addition to their lineup. Absolutely something that I've been excited for when I first heard about it, and super glad to finally have one here, because this is awesome. This is an excellent yo-yo. Not that I expect anything less from SF, because I don't. They constantly put out excellent yo-yos, and this is no exception. But let's go ahead and throw it on the desk. We will take it apart, and I'll show you guys the insides. All right, back on the desk with the SF Yoyos Bliss. So, I believe this was indeed designed in conjunction with Mr. Paul Harness, who is, like I said, one of my favorites. Make sure you check him out. Links in the description of the video. So it comes apart like most SFs. It's not squeaky or anything. It's tight at first and then screws apart very nicely. Whoever does their machining does an awesome job. It's very, very well machined. I've had no problems with it whatsoever. 5mm axle. Stainless steel, very nice, very standard, no issues there. As you can see, they use those smoky, clear pads that I like so much. Great response. I've been working on some more binds. You saw me do a little sky bind there when I was throwing it around. Worked very well. The standard SF center track-esque bearing. It's quiet, spins good, doesn't really need any break-in time. Just quality all around. The design is kind of different for SF. Usually they're a very minimalist design, but there's a little step here, kind of a step swoop up, a little bump before the response to kind of get you, those guys who are into horizontal play, this would be a great yo-yo for that. Nice step before the response pad, keep that string drag away from the walls. And there really are no walls to speak of. It's a very nice and V'd shape. Very nice competition shape, but everything's kind of rounded over and smoothed over so that it's still very comfortable shape as well. Lots and lots of good going on here. SF did a really, really nice job with this. So let's do pros and cons. Pros, dead smooth, 7068 aluminum and still only $100. I really love how SF is just like, we're gonna make super premium bimetal yo-yos and still maintain that $100 price point. And I really think that they do an amazing job, because this is one of the nicest playing competition bimetals I have ever played in my life. Dead smooth, beautiful looking, great finish, and $100 is, I mean, this is a great price for that. No wonder they sell out like that. They do an amazing job. They put a ton of yo-yos into rotation. You're definitely going to want to pick one of these up. They do drops pretty often. Check out all the links in the description, because you're going to want to follow them on Instagram and whatever to figure out when the drops are coming, because you're going to want it. Follow me as well, because I'll share when I know. I'll try to share it on Facebook as best as I can. That link's in the description too. But, so pros and cons. 7068 aluminum. Awesome. Nice, smooth, great finish. Made for a very light body and big rims. You can really feel the power, really feel the rim weight on this. But there is a good amount of center weight as well, due to the flatness. There's no like nipple to like, or undercut to remove center weight. So you still get a little bit of that floaty nimbleness as well. But once this thing gets going, it's going. But it's very controllable, very stable, which I really, really like. And that's really how competition yo-yos ought to be, in my opinion. Weight, a little bit in the center for stability and nimbleness. Perfection. Great bearing. No issues with it whatsoever. It showed up on a day where it was like 8 degrees, and I started throwing it immediately. No problem. Not even really a break-in period. Just got quieter as I played it more. So, love that. Love that about SF. Love that about SF bearings. The colorways are cool. They've already dropped an all black one and then an all silver one. Those look really cool. Check them out on the site. Those are already sold out though. There will be more colorways coming, clearly, as this one has not yet dropped, but I have it. So check that out as well. I always like the simplistic design that SF uses. No engravings, nothing super flashy or anything. It's just, here's a cool color. Pick it up. Enjoy the yo-yo. And it's great. Other pros. Finger spins, easy. Great for finger spins. Not going to be your favorite, like, super long finger spin gimmick yo-yo, but there's other yo-yos for that. This is just kind of the best all-arounder that SF has put out. Kind of like the best all-arounder competition yo-yo that they've put out. Nice, and it's just a good shape and a good size overall. I think that's really a pro. It's like not too wide, but it's still pretty wide. Not too big in the diameter, but still big enough that you're not like, it doesn't feel small or anything. It just feels right. It feels right sized in my hands. Very comfortable to hold, but also very, very competition oriented. Like I said, great grind finish, great bimetal, just great everything. Excellent. Excellent construction. Overall, great. As far as cons are concerned, there really aren't many. It is very much a performance and competition-based yo-yo, so if you're looking for something more floaty and fun, like a lot of the other SF stuff is, this one's a little more competition-driven than some of their other releases are. I wouldn't say that that's a con, it's just a little bit of a departure, but it is the signature yo-yo of one of their competitors, so I mean, that totally makes sense. The rings on this one are not brushed, so I don't know if that's necessarily a con. They might be a little sticky, but the yo-yo is wide enough and they're far enough out of the way that it hasn't caused me any problems, and that's kind of a big thing that I end up griping about if it does cause me problems. So it's not bad, but just these aren't brushed, but it's kind of the dead of winter now, so it sort of doesn't matter. Other than that, I mean, this is a great yo-yo. Don't get me wrong. I'm grasping at straws here, trying to find cons or things that people might dislike about this. There's really nothing wrong with this yo-yo. This is awesome. Super fun competition yo-yo. SF did a great job. Excited for Paul Harness to have a signature yo-yo because I think Paul is awesome. But it's gonna do it for me today, guys. You're gonna want to get one of these. SF Yoyos Bliss. Check it out. Links in the description of this video. Huge shout out and huge thanks to SF for sending this bad boy over. I love it. I haven't put it down. Brought it to Yo-Yo Club. Everybody loved it as well. Dead smooth, just like everything SF puts out. I don't know how they do it, but these guys put out amazing quality yo-yos for great prices constantly. And they're just good dudes. And they do good yo-yos. Period. That's all there is to it. That's going to do it for me today, though, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Check out all the links down in the description. Cheers to you. I'll see you next time.